Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly, truly fantastic day today. So normally today I take the time to thank everyone who gave super thanks during the week, but we are actually going to do that tomorrow. However, I do want to thank one person only because this is a topic he asked me to touch on. And since I'm doing this video, shout out to @Snug Chamberlain 9986 for the $5 super thanks. You are greatly appreciated, and thank you for your continued support of the channel. Can't thank you enough. So let's talk about this capping tour that Pippen, Horace Grant, and Luc Longley are going on. I'm going to try to keep this video short. So first of all, let's just address this. I feel like Luc Longley is just along for the ride on this. This is just the feeling I get only because I watched the documentary on Luc Longley, and Michael Jordan was in it, and I feel like however Luc feels about Michael Jordan's tactics, I feel like, number one, he expressed that in his own documentary, and he seems to understand that, hey, this was the price of being part of a dynasty. This is the price of being a part of one of the best teams in the history of the NBA. I feel like he understands that. So I'm going to be really curious to see what kind of things comes out from this tour, from Luc Longley specifically. But now, let's get to Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant. First of all, I feel like they're bitter because according to them, they thought the documentary was going to be more focused on the Bulls as a team, and I can't understand why they would think that, because when the Bulls were together, that version of the Bulls, you weren't focused on as a team then. Everyone knew Michael Jordan was the driving force behind that team. I don't understand. Like, no one would want to see a documentary that talks about all the players of the Bulls equally. And if I'm being honest, I feel like Scottie Pippen, he really wants to be propped up there next to Michael Jordan. Matter of fact, I'm going to go as far as to say this. I believe had they focused on Pippen more and put Scottie in more of a great light, Scottie probably wouldn't have had any problem with that documentary. I feel like he wouldn't have went back and said, oh, well, I think they should have talked about Horace Grant more, and I think they should have talked about Kerr more. We were all part of that Bulls team. If they had focused more on Scottie Pippen and Scottie Pippen got more shine, I feel like Scottie would be in heaven right now and we wouldn't be hearing about all this ridiculous crap. That's just my theory. Anyway, yeah, nobody wants to see a documentary that talks about the Bulls evenly because, number one, it wasn't even. Number one, Michael Jordan is what propped up the NBA during that time. Michael Jordan is who got non-basketball fans to watch. And so that's who we're interested in. That's who people who are not even that interested in basketball are interested in Michael Jordan. So that documentary wouldn't have done those numbers without it being focused on Michael Jordan. Second thing I want to say is this. A lot of times when people are associated with greatness, they start to overestimate their value. and I'm going to just go ahead and say it. It's kind of like with music groups. You see some of these music groups, and a lot of times there is conflict within the group because someone is jealous of the lead singer. But it's like the lead singer is the face of the group. Of course, they're going to get most of the praise. It's like, I feel like this is a result of people not accepting the reality of the situation. It's like, if you're not the best player on the team, just go ahead and resolve yourself to the fact that, look, the best player on the team is going to get most of the focus. That's just how it is. That's life. But so I feel like this is what happened with Scottie and Horace Grant. It's like they're overestimating their value because they happen to be associated with the person who most people view as the GOAT. But you guys were just along for the ride. Horace Grant, you were replaceable. And matter of fact, I would say you were replaceable with a lot better options during that time period. And I'm going to go as far to say that Scottie Pippen was replaceable. Scottie Pippen just happened to be talented enough to hold his place on that team. But I feel like there were a lot of players around Scottie Pippen's talent level who, if they had played alongside Michael Jordan, it would have been the same thing. And so let me explain this really quick. Because a lot of people get upset when I say Scottie Pippen was a role player, or when I say Scottie Pippen is overrated, which, just did that poll, and 53% of people said Scottie is not overrated, and 47% said that he is overrated. So there's a great amount of people that feels that Scottie is overrated. Now, let me say this. When I say Scottie's overrated, I'm not saying from the standpoint of what he became. Scottie became a top 50 player, and I believe he deserves to be in that top 50 spot. Absolutely. But what I am saying is Scottie's mentality is not the mentality of someone who could be the driving force behind the team. So what I'm saying is, had Scottie not played beside Michael, he's not having the same kind of outcome. We're not talking about him as a top 50 player. Matter of fact, I believe if Scottie hadn't played alongside Michael Jordan, he'd be one of those players that's forgotten after a while. That he'd be one of those players that only the people who grew up in that generation remember. It's like when I talk about a lot of players now, I know the younger generation knows nothing about them. Like when you're talking about Vinny the Microwave Johnson or Mookie Blaylock or Stacey Augmon or, a number of people. Like Stacey Augmon, tremendous athlete. Like if anybody remembers Stacey Augmon's game and like some of the dunks he gets, like I talked about it on this channel. I did a video on him. Like there was this dunk Stacey Augmon did where he took off baseline and he dunked backwards on a couple of defenders. Like Stacey Augmon had some serious talent. But now imagine Stacey Augmon playing alongside Michael Jordan, where he's getting pushed to his competitive limit every day in practice. So again, I feel like Scottie Pippen was replaceable. So I'm not saying he's overrated in the sense of what he became. I'm just saying without Michael Jordan, he never would have become that. And I feel like there's a lot of people who if they had played alongside Michael Jordan, they could have become what Scottie was or even greater. Again, I think Tracy McGrady almost ended up on the Bulls. Someone let me know in the comments, but I believe Tracy McGrady almost ended up on the Bulls. Imagine Tracy McGrady, as talented as he was, being pushed to his limits every day in practice. What kind of Tracy McGrady would we have saw there? So this is what I'm saying when I say Scottie is overrated, and when I say he's more like a role player. He has more of a role player mentality than he does of an actual leader or superstar. This is what I mean by that. But I'm not saying that what he became is overrated. But anyway, we're going to hold up here. Like I said, I think this whole tour is just, I can't figure out if it's just that much bitterness or if Scottie knows like, well, I already burned the bridge with Michael Jordan, so I might as well just make as much money off his name as possible. Because, I mean, this is what you're doing. You're doing the same thing you were doing when you were playing for Chicago, and that's making money off of Michael Jordan's name. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think about this whole capping tour going on from Scottie and Horace Grant and Luc Longley? And what do you think is the motive and the reasons behind this tour? Do you think it's just a money grab, or do you think it's still that bitterness there Do you think they're upset that they didn't make any money from The Last Dance? What is the reason for this? But anyway, let me know what you guys think. You all have a truly, truly fantastic day. And I'll see you next time. All right.